When you order an ACO from me, you're not just getting a tiny painting, you're getting an experience. Hi, I'm Natalia, and for the last almost a year, I've been making and selling ACOs online and in person at art markets. So let me tell you about it. So if you're here and you're new to the process, you're trying to learn more about selling ACOs, maybe learn about what goes into the process, or you just want to listen to me yap while you do your chores or draw, go ahead, be my guest. So yeah, I've been selling ACOs in person at markets all year last year, but I haven't been marketing them as ACEOs. I've been marketing them as tiny originals because I noticed that at my first market, if I marketed them as ACEOs, people would ask me, like 90% of the time, 90% of my customers would ask me, what are ACEOs? So I would have to explain to them, ACEOs are art cards, editions, and originals. And then 50% of the time they would ask me, oh, so what is it for? So I would tell them, oh, people collect them, people trade them, just like trading cards, or people display them. I would have like a little frame with an ACO in it, but it was just easier to market them as tiny originals because people would be like, oh, it's tiny, yes, and it's an original, also, yes, and it's cheap, yay. I also had a couple of people just like stop by and say, oh, you have really cute prints. And I would be like, no, 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 those are not prints. I hand painted every single one of them. And just recently I started selling them online on eBay because I saw a couple of TikTok creators explaining how to do that. And I was like, okay, it doesn't look too hard, too difficult, so I'm gonna try that. So I've been doing that since the beginning of 2026, this year, and I made over $700 just ACEOs. And I have to admit the sales have been a little bit slower as of late because I feel like I haven't been putting up that many new ACEOs. So a lot of the listings that I have are just like old ones that I renew. People still buy those, but it's not as frequent. So it's more common for people to buy the ones that I just make. So let me tell you about how I start the process. First, I take Canson mixed media paper, like a large sheet of it, 14 by 19 inches, I think, and I cut it into the 2.5 by 3.5 inch paper. Then every ACEO is very different. Like, I don't make like two of the same item, two of the same object, two of the same person. So every single one is very different. And if you look at my eBay or if you look at my collection, there isn't really like a pattern to them. There is a style, like yes, but the items are so random. But I kind of like that because there's like a funny crow, and then there's like a girl, like a really fancy elf girl, and then there's a pigeon. There's lots of pigeons. It's people have noticed that. They're like, oh, you like pigeons. And I'm like, yes, I do. So yeah, no repetition, no pattern really. Common themes, yes, but not really a pattern. I pick my references way ahead, or whatever I want to draw at the moment. I just like sketch, and I have this tiny notebook that I use for like notes. This is my everything. Like, I really hope I don't lose this because I write my thoughts here every day. I put every single thought in here. So like, if I think that maybe it would be cool to draw like mythical creatures or like Greek mythology or a crow in like a funny costume, I write it down for later because I am forgetful. So that is the idea section, and then I sketch everything with my blue lead mechanical pencil. The most asked question on my TikTok account is, what is the pencil? where did you get that pencil? The pencil is the pencil is Tombow monograph pencil with a 0.5 Pentel blue lead, and it's different from like your typical graphite pen because it doesn't smudge. It's very waxy, and if you like put it really hard on your paper, it just stays there. So that's what I use, because no smudging also means no smudging of the ink that I put over the blue lead, and you can barely see even if I like go a little bit harder, you just like ink over it and then you can't see it. It's great. So I do that for the sketch, and then we move on to inking. So I use Preppy fountain pen 0.3 I believe, and I use it every day. It's so great because you can use it like both ways. You can use it the traditional way, which makes the line a bit thicker, or you can use it like the other way around. You flip it 180 degrees. You like rotate it 180 degrees, and it makes the line like thinner and like kind of like unreliable ink. And I love that. I do it for like hatching or for like tiny details. It's great. I really love that pen, and I would recommend it to anybody. I actually recommended it to somebody when I was at the art store and they were looking for a fountain pen. They were asking the employees of the art store, and the employee was like, "Oh, I guess this one is okay." And I'm like, "Girlie, do you need a good fountain pen? Here, take this $5 Preppy pen and thank me later." So, true story, by the way. And then we move on to inking or coloring it in. I use Ohuhu alcohol markers that I have here, over there. Many alcohol markers. And I don't like do the colors at random. I think the palette through before I actually apply it. So I either look up trending palettes or look at like images that I like and think really hard about the colors that are in the image, or I study other artists and notice what colors they use and if I like them, and before I actually put the colors in the ACEO, I put them on a tiny swatch, like a scrap piece of paper, and see if they actually look good together. And I've been doing that for just a couple of weeks now, but it has saved me so much time because I would like think really hard about the colors that I need to use, and it would like be really lengthy. So now I don't have to do that. And finally, this step I don't do all the time, but when I do, it adds like a little pizzazz. I add details and highlights to the ACEO. I do it either with a gold acrylic paint that I use with another fountain pen that I dip into it, or I use a white gel pen. I don't do it all the time. I just do it for like a reflection in the eyes, or like if I want to portray like juicy lips or something very glossy, I do it for that. And now we can move on to packaging, which is my favorite part. I spent so much time thinking about the packaging, and I finally settled on a design just a couple of weeks ago. I'm very happy with it. So let's go through it from outside to in. So every ACEO comes in a pink envelope, which is bird themed because I love birds. So we have a bird stamp. We have a bird sticker on the back, and we have a do not bend bird stamp also on the back. I designed all of those except for the stamp. I ordered a pack of, I believe, 100 envelopes and blank cards that go together from Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but it was such a good deal because there isn't just like one color, there are multiple colors, so that if somebody orders multiple times from me, and that happens a lot, actually most of my buyers are repeat buyers, they don't get the same card or like the same color every single time, which I think is neat. So anyway, I got this pack of 100 envelopes with blank cards inside that fit in perfectly, and I customized them. Basically, my brand is about pigeons or birds in general. I just love pigeons and I think they're underrated. So I printed "Do Not Bend" stamp on the back. I did want to use like a custom stamp, but then I thought, okay, I might as well save on this because I'm trying to save in general. So I used my Canon Pro 200 printer that is right behind me to print all of the "Do Not Bend" stamps. And I also used the same printer to print many stickers that go on the back that are also pigeon themed. So the whole outside is pigeon themed, and then the inside, I used the blank card that came with the envelope, and I put a Linocut print on the front of it, which is again pigeon themed. And then on the inside, I hand wrote every single thank you note. And on the other side, there's the actual ACEO in like a little scrapbooking corner looking thing that I found in the scrapbooking section at the art store. And every single ACO comes in a protective sleeve, so in case it rains on the envelope or something, you can be sure that the ACO stays dry. So that's it for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. And if you would like to see more behind the scenes or get more tips on my art or art in general, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter, Pigeon Post, which I send out once a month on the 17th. And I promise you can subscribe whenever. I'm not going to spam you with my emails. It's just once a month. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you have a good day. Bye.